So, I mean, I'm a nurse. I see a lot of gross things, and that scene was particularly just really gross. But the other scene is, of course, when the baby died, and Jared actually guarded my eyes and wouldn't let me watch that. And most of my career has been spent, working with babies and new moms, and I've seen some pretty sad things in my career, but he really tried to protect me from seeing that. So I appreciated that. But I think overall the film was. It wouldn't be something I would choose to watch, but I think it definitely put an impact on me, and it does make you be aware of suffering, and what people go through. And I think the struggle of, someone trying to get clean is really there for a lot of people. And this is a plague. It's an epidemic in our country, people using drugs and trying, and it becomes a big vicious cycle. And so I think it is one of those movies that maybe watch once, but I don't think I could watch it again.
Irene, how many times have you seen this film?
I'm not sure how many times I've actually watched it. So I think I probably watched it maybe 4 or 5 times, but then there's been kind of a bit of a gap. And so I watched it again last week, and the toilet scene was really hard for me to watch this time. Like I said, I have a really weak stomach. So anything where there's vomiting or poop involved usually turns my stomach, and I have to try not to actually throw up. So that scene, I did have to I made it through, but it was a tough one. And I'd say it'd probably been a good maybe 10 years since I'd seen it. I was worried about Heidi with the baby scene, because it is a really tough scene. There's a few tough spots in it when one of the character has an accident in bed. It's another one that was a little rough to watch. But the baby scene, I was worried, because I know Heidi's had a lot of experience kind of in high risk. It's a really tough scene, when you have that level of neglect as well. It was rough. It's not my favorite movie to be like, I'm bored, let's turn on Trainspotting. It's just one that had a really big impact, and I would say is a favorite movie because it just is kind of a gritty contrast to my life for sure, but also kind of just getting an understanding of those kind of issues and topics.
It's interesting about the baby scene that you were concerned for me. I appreciate that. But I have worked with mothers who have had addictions and who have, given birth to babies and have abandoned them. And so it is a heartbreaking thing to see, and it happens every day. So it's real. So I think the value of watching something, like you said, we're so protected. We don't realize what people go through. And I think, that movie is definitely eye-opening. And I thought the other scene with the sheets, I mean, that was almost kind of funny to me, but I have a strong stomach. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of gross things being a nurse, so that scene actually kind of made me laugh.